For accessibility options, press space. If you are visually impaired, you can enable all the appropriate options by pressing space. Large fonts, off. Bigger fonts overall throughout the game. No screen shaking, off. Disable screen shake, fully narrated, off. Everything gets narrated. Interactions, menus, fully narrated, on. High contrast text, off. Dialogue back, large fonts, off. Bigger fonts overall throughout, large fonts, on. No screen shaking, off. No screen shaking, go back. Clipboard, large fonts, on. Bigger fonts, no screen shaking, off. Clipboard narration, large option. CowCat socials, accessibility, large font, display, sound, controls, gameplay, difficulty and other gameplays, exit game, store pick, community, CowCat social, gameplay, difficulty and skip cutscenes, skip dialogue, automatic dialogue play, should automatic dialogue play, yes, skip automatic dialogue, saves, option, exit game, close menu, go back, blank gameplay, close, go back. Start. Load. Options. Exit. Load. Start. Load. Start. Natal Tale, A New Christmas. Graph.
My name is Graf Filch. I'm a cat. I always try my best, although I'm often depressed. Even compared, doing your best isn't always enough. Life constantly that's what I feel, at least, having already lost both. So, I'm an orphan, or I would be, if not for that weird reptile. He's cool enough, I guess. As far as legal guardians go, he's cool.
Control, close menu, gameplay, controls, gameplay, skip dial, back, sound, gameplay, skip cutscene, back, sounds, mute, ambient, global, back, display, back, accessibility, high, go back, close menu, fully narrated, close, back, close.
However, I'm at least thankful to study at the coveted Consciousness Center in this. Wait. Why am I thinking of studies? Why can't I have a nice dream for once? Why is it always about?
Hey, Graf. Wake up.
Graf.
Oh. Hi,
Hey, Graf.
Graf.
Good guess, it's so crowded. Looks like the whole.
Yep. The director is about. Too bad there's only 4 chairs.
Graf.
We're so privileged.
We would be, if he wasn't.
Graf.
Clay, easy to pull strings when you're the director's only.
Still. That shouldn't stop.
Graf.
Better avoid contact.
Clay, hey, I'll pretend I didn't hear you go.
Well, the others aren't following the specific.
Graf.
I don't get it. Who wouldn't want the opportunity? This.
Crappy land?
Graf.
Pretty much.
Clay, hey, since when are you two so. Graf.
I thought you were pretending not to hear.
We won't be stuck here that much longer. Just a few.
Graf.
Hopefully.
Oh, come on. Show some enthusiasm. Better than mine, anyway.
Graf.
You'll pass.
You can't know that.
Graf.
I know you.
Bunny Kid, shut up, guys. The director is here. Director.
Dear students of Consciousness Center, as you know, tomorrow is Natal Tale. Celebrating our traditions is important in our society. It is a mark of your integration, and proof of your desire to combine your skills into a unified. Therefore, it has been decided that this year would be special.
Fox Kid, special? How? Special? How? Options. Display, accessibility. Gameplay, language, store pay, CowCat, access, large, go back, large, high contrast text, on, close menu. Director.
You will be evaluated on your
Question mark. Jabber, should have seen it coming. Director.
Silence.
Ouch, my
Graf.
Good thing she doesn't use that
Director.
As I was saying, you will be evaluated to ensure the Do not worry. Only a score of 0 on your evaluation.
Graf. Director.
Let me remind you the grand meaning of efficiency, accuracy, and individuality. Starting from teenage and until adult age, on Natal on Tail Day, your money, or more precisely, your uni's accounts, are reset to zero. It can't be relatives of your school friends, either.
Fox Kid, too bad for you, Clay. Note Clay, TSK. Director,
Terry.
Fox Kid, sorry. Director,
This single item must be the best gift you could ever want, with a value within the limits of what you've. This tradition allows you a preliminary experience to find your use. Your motivation to earn something good should shine through your work.
Bunny Kid, what if I don't need anything? Director,
This is good. Sparing Earth's
Bunny Kid, easy peasy. Loophole. Director,
except during this special day.
Bunny Kid, darn. Director,
Everyone needs something. In ancient times, citizens celebrated Natal on Tail and they purchased presents for family and friends.
slot, 1, 0%, 0, saved, close menu.
From a flower pot to a new Me system, anything physical could. They also spent countless amounts of valuable energy on lighting for decorations. The direct benefits on humans were while good for the economy, it contributed to further degradation of the planet. Our land cannot afford us being irresponsible and.
Graph,
Yeah, right, as if the drummers aren't still.
Director,
Finally, the big family and friend reunions. What started as a moment of joy ended all too often into A few centuries ago, the tradition was in danger of being abandoned. The government in place decided to make substantial changes to accommodate the current situation of the country. Now, it was focused on the individual self and real needs. Is that clear to all of you? So, you have until tomorrow evening to earn. No friends or family involved. Then, buy yourself the best gift you can think of. Please read and respect the rules. A copy has been. Disqualification could result in your eviction. It is not Again, keep in mind, accuracy, efficiency, and individuality. It must be something personal. Any questions?
Can we access the drums to find a job?
Director,
Sorry.
Of course.
Director,
Anyone else? Good. We'll meet again here in the evening. Students, please leave the facility now.
Graph,
Great. With everything that's been happening lately.
Same for me, really. We have a bad. I was supposed to help mom and dad fix it.
Graph,
Studies are the priority. I could tell Brock to come help.
Nah, you know my dad.
Clay, bye, sucker. Bunny Kid, where are you going, Clay? Just so I know what corner of the slums to avoid. Clay, then it'll be my pleasure to not tell you. Bunny Kid, Graph,
Typical. Hey, how about going together?
Sorry, the rules are clear. Besides, I'm still worried about our apartment, so.
Graph,
Alright. Later, Ott. Zero uni. Huh. Guess I zoned out. Let's see those ads. Looking for a trash collector and residue cleaner at the no. Hairdresser assistant. That one's too far, and this one.
question mark, door opens. Brock,
Oof.
Graph,
Brock. Watch out.
Brock,
Sorry. Thought you were.
Graph,
Not school.
Brock,
Yeah.
Graph,
What day is it?
Brock,
Huh? Oh. Yeah. That thing for
Graph,
Natal Untail isn't narcissist. The goal is to elevate ourselves in society and
Brock,
You're smart, son.
Graph, Brock,
Anyway, gotta fly. That door won't fix itself. Wanna come?
Graph,
we're supposed to find our job.
Brock,
You can always keep me company on the road. Nothing like going out in the streets to land a gig. Keep both of your.
Graph,
Alright. Sigh.
Brock,
What's wrong?
Graph,
Dunno. I have.
Brock,
It's getting colder this season. Hey, maybe we'll get snow this year.
Graph,
Snow?
Brock,
You don't remember? Once in a while, when the temperature gets low enough, water particles in the air, then they fall from the sky, forming little crystals that pile up into.
Graph,
Sounds like sand.
Brock,
Yeah, but less threatening. And
Graph,
I would love to.
Brock,
I wish you could. Atlasia used to be more often. You must have.
question mark, roar in the distance. Graph,
What was that?
Brock,
Air, nothing good. But hey, that's life in the slums. Let's just press on and.
question mark, phone ringing. Brock,
That's Shay.
Graph,
Who?
Brock,
Hey, what's up?
question mark, shouts in the phone. Brock.
Okay.
Question mark. Hangs up. Brock.
Seems urgent.
Graph.
But, hey.
Brock.
Remember, keep both eyes open.
Graph.
There he goes. He runs pretty fast, all things considered. No point staying here. I wandered around the streets. Near the edges of crumbling underground housings, I encountered toddlers playing in the sand with adults busy running around, others with a dazed smile as if they took drugs, and, in any case, nobody paid attention to me, and I seriously but eventually. Great. Already in the poorest area. There goes all my chances of making any money.
Seller.
Hello.
Graph.
Hello. Aren't you one of those believers?
Seller.
Oh, I am currently setting up my stall. Natal Tale.
Graph.
And for your business?
Seller.
Admittedly, yes. Let's praise the Almighty for this.
Graph.
His birth. Wait.
Seller.
Oh my, it appears you're lacking.
Graph.
I dozed off during the.
Seller.
Well, it's never. What would you say about helping me clean and install my articles, while.
Graph.
Would I earn something? I'm
Seller.
Tali Lubdia. All young lads are following the new Natal Untailed. How about this? I'll give you 10 unis for each client.
Graph.
That's a risk that nobody comes and buys this junk.
Saved. Close. Seller.
Think about it. The better you install and decorate, your motivation will be indirectly rewarded.
Graph.
I get.
Seller.
You'll do a fine job. Our
Graph.
I may regret this. Alright then. I started helping with the stall. I had no idea what I was. Meanwhile, the lady started telling me more about her interpretation of the old tradition, which got me intrigued.
Seller.
Natal Tale was all about love. Each year, children impatiently waited for this. Parents would cut a pine tree and place it in the center of their.
Graph.
Oh, is that why you're selling?
Seller.
Yes.
Graph.
A little.
Seller.
They decorated them with little balls and garlands, but.
Graph.
Oh, and the.
Seller.
Snow globe. They capture how it was like, comfy and warm at home when it was. And when you shake them.
Graph.
I see.
Seller.
Kids loved making snowmen when they were lucky.
Graph.
Lucky ones in.
Seller.
Santail was a magical entity wearing red. It is said that the Untail sends him to Earth once every year to bring joy. At midnight, he enters homes to drop his presents around the pine.
Graph.
Wouldn't that be privacy violation?
Seller.
Not at all. Nobody minded, and if kids hung little socks on their chimney, Santail.
Graph.
What a swell guy.
Seller.
The next morning, children would gather up and open their. Tell me. What magic is there about
Graph.
Well, plain logic. No one.
Seller.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes, your closest friends and family can know. Children sent Santail a list of the gifts they wanted the most. Santail always knew what was best.
Graph.
Huh, sounds like.
Seller.
Of a sort, but that misses the point. It wasn't all about the gifts. Sharing time with loved. It is incorrect to say Natal Untail, as our Lord and Savior. I understand the motivation behind the new tradition. It makes me sad. We've deviated so much. I am convinced all those changes are the reason why we haven't.
Graph. Seller.
You know, miracle. I was wishing for help this morning, and here.
Graph.
That's not even a coincidence, much less a miracle.
Seller.
If you say so. If you wish for something hard enough, it.
Graph.
Right, if it's that easy, guess I'll try someday. So. Little trees, snow globes, Santail statues.
Seller.
Presents.
Graph.
You're selling all the symbols from the old.
Seller.
I am.
Graph.
That's pretty. I'll take some picture. I mean, my friend.
Seller.
Feel free.
Question mark. Shutter sound. Graph.
The golden Santail statue.
Seller.
Isn't it? This is the. It is invaluable, so I always keep it close to me.
Graph.
Sure. Hey, looks like we have our first.
Seller.
Hello, sir.
Red Panda. Just looking. We don't often get religious stalls around. Where's your church? Seller.
Oh, it's not mine. It's just a bit further down the street.
Red Panda. I see. Well, good luck. Seller.
Donant.
Graph.
Too bad. They didn't buy.
Seller.
Have faith. More people will.
Graph.
Let's hope so. 3 hours later, we did get a few good enough to earn me 60 unis. I was cleaning the stand again. Powder used to simulate snow when
Hippopotamus. Excuse me. Graph.
hey, that woman, she bumped right into me.
Seller.
Oh no, my golden centale.
Graph.
What?
Seller.
I told you to look after it.
Graph.
I put it to the side of the I could still see the thief, so I sprinted straight ahead. Luckily, I'm a cat and she was a hippo. I managed to catch up to her and, without thinking,
Hippopotamus. Arg. Graph.
the situation wasn't pretty. She fell onto nothing too serious, thankfully, but I felt I'm sorry. No, this wasn't the time for an apology. Before I could set my eyes on it, a shadow crept, the overwhelming shadow of a policeman bear.
RJ.
What's going on here?
Graph.
Sir.
Question mark. The bear had already retrieved the stat. Judging from the thickness of those arms, none of us would ever be able to snatch it from him. That was for sure. Not that I wanted to. I needed money, but stealing was out of the question. He forcefully brought us both back to the merchant, who was relieved. Go back. Slot 1. No, yet saved. For a short while anyway. RJ.
Sneezes. Oh no, here comes my allergy again. So this is yours.
Seller.
Denant. The Almighty shall find a.
Hippopotamus. Can't believe I was caught by a kitten. Graph.
A sudden pat on my shoulder made me.
RJ.
Good job, boy.
Graph.
I moved away instantly to avoid. He didn't understand why, and to be frank, a part of me truly appreciated the big, comforting paw. No, it was more than that. It was exactly what. Yet, another part of me screamed deep in. This was out of my control.
RJ.
Sneezes.
Graph. RJ.
Hey,
Seller.
Yes, good.
RJ.
this stall of yours. It was declared this part of the slums. Not supposed to.
Seller.
Well, I mean.
Graph.
Clearly, her business wasn't.
RJ.
Need to check all this with the chief. Gonna take a while. Everyone.
Graph.
I didn't let him finish. This was my call to.
RJ.
Hey, boy. Sneezes. _. Sigh. I'm so tired today. If only I had a colleague, or a friend.
Graph.
The clock was ticking. There was no way I could afford. I felt terrible. That was I was responsible for the statue getting stolen in the first place. I accidentally hurt someone. A thief? Yes, but the sight of her. I ran away from a police officer. What will that bear do? And in the end, I may have caused trouble to the untail believer. All I had was 60 unis. Couldn't hope to purchase anything worthwhile with such a pitiful amount. Without thinking, my legs led me back in front of me. It didn't take me long to figure out what was coming next.
BROK. BROK.
My name is BROK. I'm a self-proclaimed investigator. Although most of my daily routine consists of odd jobs, helping people in need in exchange for a few unis, been living all my life in the slums, so that helps, well, except for a few months. but I don't really want to dwell. We may not have much over here, but we're doing what we can to survive and help each other.
Go back. Slot. No. Yeah. Saved.
We're certainly not as stuck up as drummers. The dome is nothing more than a bubble of comfort that they're stuck in. It was suitable for some. Not for me. Anyway, I was going to Shay's garage, one of my child. We ran into each other just a few years ago and have kept up since then. She's a bit on the crazy side, and that muffled call worried me. No wonder she's so isolated out here. I'll never get used to the stench. The door is open. Good or bad sign, Shay? Shay? Where are you hiding?
Shay.
Muffled, behind here.
Brock.
Oh, that pile of crates. I thought you had an emergency.
Shay.
This is an emergency.
Brock.
Sorry if I couldn't tell. You're always half it.
Shay.
Cut the nonsense and get me out.
Brock.
It took some effort to get her free.
Shay.
Phew, alright, great.
Brock.
What? I came all the way here, and that's all I get?
Shay.
Look, that was a particularly unpleasant.
Brock.
Shay.
Question mark. She glanced toward me for the first time and suddenly her attitude. Shay.
Oh, God.
Brock.
What? What?
Shay.
Nothing. I just remembered why I avoid looking at
Brock.
You did?
Shay.
because then I can never refuse. Ahem, my handsome hero. Always here to save me.
Brock.
Don't overdo it. I just thought you'd want to chat. You know, like
Shay.
Exactly.
Question mark. Shay resumed work. Brock.
some days, I wonder why I'm even your friend.
Shay.
You can't resist the company of individuals.
Brock.
Do you mind at least explaining how you got stuck like a fly on?
Shay.
Oh, alright.
Brock.
Suddenly, a certain acquaintance barged in, accompanied by a range of police tribettes. What the? Wes?
Wes.
That's Commissioner Wes for you. Considering your presence here, all my suspicions of shenanigans going on in this
Cop. 1 minute allocated for the individuals to fail to Brock.
the explosion, Shay.
Shay.
A minor oops. I was working on my cannon burst and I fed it with zinc. I misread the instructions the old Shay gave me.
Brock.
Talking to yourself in third person again.
Wes.
Cannon burst?
Cop. Our database does not find any wreck. Shay.
Well, that basically, feed the cannon with any material and it will multiply it. For instance, you could put water inside and you'd get instant.
Brock.
What would you even need that for?
Shay.
For my Tim.
Cop. The statement from the individual with aqua-colored feathers only makes sense. Wes.
Haha. I'm too old to care. Let me just confiscate agents.
Cop. Yes, sir. Brock.
They're out of sight. Good.
Shay.
I still wonder who built.
Brock.
Why do you care?
Shay.
I mean, it was a pretty.
Brock.
Look just like your standard tribute to me.
Shay.
You can't be serious.
Brock.
Guess you're right. Me and technology are like water and sand.
Shay.
The expression is water and oil. I'll have to install a security system to prevent intrusion.
Brock.
Or maybe just don't do a leap.
Shay.
Nah. A security system is easy.
Brock.
Whatever.
Shay.
Here, take
Brock.
Wait, what?
Shay.
my prototype. It's a bust. I'll work out my gravitation. Kids can have fun with it.
Brock.
Say, the gun is nice and all, but that makes me think I'd love to give something nice to Graf. He's all.
Shay.
What does he love and is missing the most?
Brock.
Let's see. He loves electronic doodads and his school friend. Like, maybe something he could use to play with him from a distance? Does something like that even exist?
Shay.
Grown, a computer. Brock.
Brock.
Oh, right.
Shay.
Still in working condition.
Brock.
You, if you don't mind the fetidness.
Shay.
Suit yourself. Consider
Brock.
Thanks. Now you're more like the. What time is it?
Shay.
3 p.m.
Brock.
Oh God. I'm super late.
Shay.
Hopefully not.
Brock.
See ya.
Wes.
Insert any material and it will multiply. How about ice? This could make for a handy weapon.
Question mark. My name is Ott. I've been a citizen of the slums. I have miscarriage syndrome. In other words, I inherited a specific combination of recessive genes from both of my parents, forming. Usually, children have dominant genes from just one of their parents, so that species expresses me. Both species express themselves. Due to this, I've been mocked, thrown aside, and got called a lot of things and most words I wouldn't dare to repeat. Lately, people say I look like cake. Probably the weirdest, but at least it's not as offensive. Slummers can't stand or understand being different. Anything they're not used to is treated as illness and they see. I don't know if I can blame them, but it still hurts. Besides my parents, I don't have many friends who accept me the way I am. Will it be the same when I become an official resident of the dome? I guess we'll see. But first, today, I need to find a job.
The main border post, the place that separates our world from there. Oh no. How can I expect to earn you? No, actually, there is someone. Hello.
Bolt.
Please, do not mind me.
Oh, I see. Well, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Bolt.
Looking for
No.
Bolt.
in all these years. No,
You look happy.
Bolt.
I am.
Good. So, looks like all you do is press those buttons.
Bolt.
Yes. How about sharing?
Like, splitting the tab.
Bolt.
You do the bottom. I handle the top and the right one.
Sounds good. Although, I need to earn some
Bolt.
Oh, I do. I am Justin. Old. I cannot even remember for what my memory was formatted about a day. I am sorry.
It's okay. I'm still
Bolt.
You would do that?
Well, if it makes you happy. What's your name?
Bolt.
I am.
Glad to meet you, Bolt.
Bolt.
Oh, you do look.
No, I mean not.
Bolt.
Is that so? My processor.
Should we start then? I helped Bolt for 2 hours. He told me about his technical capabilities, how he was made for this one specific task, his fear of. On my end, I told him everything about myself, about Natal. I know he was just a processor unit, but I still kind of, in a convoluted way, I felt closer to him than with. That's just like me, having more fun with a robot. Despite the monotonous work, it was a fun too much time. I promised him to do it again someday, but I was not earning, so I left and watched the border. I stayed there. Suddenly, Bolt called out for me.
Bolt.
I have. Good. While you were away, I checked. There is a mode to earn only 0.01 uni per packet. In total, I have sent you.
Oh wow. Thank you.
Bolt.
I was.
Very.
Bolt.
I am.
But I have to go now. Time to buy my.
Bolt.
I understand.
Happy Natal Untail.
Bolt.
Goodbye, friend.
Graph.
After the Untail Believer incident, I was back in front of. I had a sinking feeling that I was being followed, and it didn't take long to confirm I was.
Squealer. Hello, kitty. Graph.
Don't move. I can defend.
Squealer. No, you got it wrong. Graph.
Hey, aren't you? No, wait, you're a squealer? Those
Squealer. Of course not. I'm a mouse. See? Graph. Squealer. But like them, I'm home. Sleeping onto floor is making my back ache. When drummers throw away their old mattresses, they're sorted out and fall into dat landfill over there. Other slummers are watching over this spot to grab them and do some fishy business. Thankfully, today there are several mattresses available. But I can't access this area without being chased by drones. See, I may have done 1 or 2 bad things in the past. Graph.
Thought so.
Squealer. No, please don't leave. I'd be forever indebted to you if you could get me one. Graph.
How do I know you're not going to use it in traffic?
Squealer. Simple. Question mark. The rat showed me his back. He wasn't lying, although I wondered if they were really caused by just uncomfortable conditions. Squealer. 100 unis. That's all? Question mark. In the situation I was in, I decided it was worth a shot. Graph.
Deal.
Squealer. Yes. I'll be waiting here at this exact spot. Thanks, lil fella. Graph.
He stayed in the shadows. Clearly he didn't. One thing was for sure, I was acting far from my comfort zone. Was this what the director intended? I had to go through a barbed wire fence to access the landfill. Proof that I wasn't the first one to cross. A massive hole had been cut with pliers, And I picked a small mattress, at least that'd be easier. Oof, that's still really heavy
Question mark. At my own pace I was slowly getting back. Unauthorized squealer citizen. You are banned under regulation. Graph.
Oh no, I was right. He was a squeal. The rat started to flee, but it was too late and there was nowhere to hide. The flying by instinct, I threw a rock at it. I missed, so I threw myself under the mattress. Silly idea, but I waited, expecting to feel a sudden warmth on my skin but it never came. I heard the drone fly away. Getting out of my hiding place, there was neither drone nor rat visible.
Go back. Slot 1. Yet saved. Slot 1. 40%. 1 hours.
He managed to escape. Somehow, even though he was the one bringing me into this mess, the way it all ended gave me an odd feeling of, and then the realization came to me, great. I just broke the law, and earned absolute, then why didn't it bother me more? The sun was starting to set. 30 minutes. That's all the time I had. Crap. Quick, Graph, what's the— I was starting to run. My mind could not focus. My mouth was getting dry and so much had happened and my brain could hardly control my movement. I made a wish that I would not get a 0 for failing to complete the task. 15 minutes. I arrived in a busy part of the slum, the bazaar shop. I was right in front of it. The owner was looking the other way, which gave me some time to peek through, and a cruel awakening. There was nothing under 100 unis. Instinctively, my finger went to my phone's contact. I couldn't let this happen. This was my I called BROK. Please reply, please. To no avail. Deep down, I knew this would have been a mistake anyway. But that didn't make me any less angry at him, when I really should have been angry at myself. It's over. 10 minutes left. A familiar voice calling me.
Graph.
Graph.
Yeah, I'm here to buy, but.
Graph.
He showed me his phone. Looks like he didn't have much more luck than I did. I instantly felt anger at myself for the relief that I felt at not being— There's nothing under 100 uni.
I'm screwed.
Graph.
And so am I. We looked at each other. Was this a sign? If we combined both, that's really the only choice.
I agree.
Graph.
We entered.
Hello, fellas.
Hi, Stan.
Graph. What's wrong, kiddo? What's with that funny look on Graph?
I remember.
Oh. That Graph, this store.
Meh, I really don't care. I'm closing up shop. Snap up something or
We'll take this.
Oh, how cute. This piggy looks well, better looking, actually.
HRMPH. As far as accuracy and efficiency goes, that should—
Graph.
We probably could have gone for something more personal, but in our—
It's just 100 unis. Real Graph.
There goes both our money.
Question mark. Cash drawer. Thanks, fellas. Now, unless you intend to get something else. Graph.
No.
Then, scram. Graph.
Well, it's done. Did not expect this day to be this
You tell me? I'm so hungry I could eat myself.
Graph.
I know what you mean, but we better get back to—
I'll run home to pick something up quick. Thanks again, Graph. Without you—
Graph.
Don't mention it.
Results.
I was on my way to the consciousness center. I saw the director talking with Clay, and soon heard his familiar—
Clay, Mom. Hey, Mom. You need to listen. It was horrible. The customers kept complaining. Those closed— Director.
Take this.
Clay. No. I don't want to. Just hear me out. Director.
We've discussed this before. I am your mom. You do as I— Take this pill.
Clay, I won't. I don't need an antidote. Director.
I said, take IT, or else.
Clay. Fine. Graph.
As I entered the facility, I heard Clay.
Clay. But I won't. Director.
Take a seat, sweet.
Graph.
Somehow, Ott was already there and he's told me that he runs fast, but now So, what are you eating?
Slot. 1. Saved.
Oats.
Graph.
Ah. Plant-based.
Question mark. Clay suddenly went past by us. Graph.
Everything's fine.
Clay. Yep. All peachy. And I got myself a premium Musk of the Lynx perfume.
You're a mountain lion.
Clay. Details. I'm sure you peasants got something boring and cheap like a cardboard box. Graph.
Mind your own business.
Clay. Man, you really need to improve your witty. Graph.
He's right though.
Graph.
Ott.
Hey, it wouldn't hurt to learn to defend ourselves. Yawn. I'm tired. Can't wait for this.
Director.
Students, there is no doubt in my mind that you have achieved your goal. It is time for
Graph.
Does she even have a mind?
Director.
one by one, you will tell the class about your day and what.
Graph.
Some celebration that was. Ott's situation, however, was, it'll be our turn soon. Ott? Nothing worked. Ott was sleeping like a, my stress-o-meter gauge was reaching its limit. He probably had sleep to catch up on.
Director.
Graph?
Graph.
Yeah.
Director.
Tell us. What did.
Question mark. Class laugh. Director.
Silence.
Graph.
Ott's snoring probably was heard from the other side of. I attempted to respond to distract them. I helped an Untail believer set up her stall and it was full of wonderful looking items.
Director.
Items from the old tradition.
Graph.
I think so.
Director.
Please continue.
Graph.
At the end of the day, I didn't have enough unis, but Ott was with me, in the same We did the best thing we could. We combined our money, as you instructed, it is both useful.
Director.
Graph. Do you realize.
Graph. Fox Kid. PSST. Sharing your money with others is Bunny Kid, you'll get eliminated. Both of you. Graph.
What?
Director.
This item. Is it your.
Graph.
My cheeks were burning. I was desperately looking at Ott for advice, but it was.
Director.
I'm asking you again, Graph.
Graph.
Why, yes. I was just trying to cover for him.
Director.
Understood. You pass. However, I'm afraid I have to give an eliminatory 0 to your.
Question mark. Gasps around the class. Graph.
My mind did not follow the rest of this. I was too busy thinking. I made the most logical decision. I tried hard to convince myself. If I hadn't, we both would have been eliminated. This was for the best. But then Ott eventually woke up.
We're in class. Oh no, my turn passed already.
Graph.
He could totally read my face. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
You don't mean.
Graph.
Yeah, you've been.
That's not We bought the item together. You told.
Graph.
But you weren't awake.
Clay. Wow. And you call him. He's literally lying to you. Chump. Graph.
Clay.
No.
Clay, you've been eliminated because buying an item together is against. Of course, you knew. I mean, at least one of you two imbus. Graph.
Shut up, Clay. I don't.
Clay, it's fine, though. Be a little happy for your friend.
Graph, is that true? You lied to the director, to the whole class, and to me.
Graph.
It was the only. Ott suddenly stood from his chair and sprinted through the front door. That split second when I saw his face, it will remain in my. He was crying. The session wasn't over, but for him that didn't matter. Me, on the other hand, I was on the verge of. I had caused this. I was fully responsible. I must have looked like a zombie when I left the facility, lifeless and unresponsive. I went back to my apartment. Empty, of course. BROK hadn't. I needed someone to talk to. I attempted to call BROK. Nothing. Busy or out of net, he always had a good excuse. I sent him a message anyway. Like throwing a bottle. The lump in my stomach was widening. It was as if a hole had replaced it. I had failed my best friend. Ruined. What could I possibly do to fix this? Well, count me out. Cold logic and doing what made sense had gotten me into this mess. There was only one thing I could think to do. I had to. It would only make things worse for me, but that didn't matter. I'd just have to fail on purpose. Ott wouldn't want me to, but then again, I was done caring. It didn't matter right now though. I couldn't move at all. Just an empty shell, lying on a bed.
My best friend had betrayed me. I would expect this from Clay. Never could but Graf, who had always been so nice, I was still dumbfounded. He was the closest person I've ever been to. I always could trust him with anything, without fear of getting dismissed. Whenever I'm close to him, I feel happy. A different sort of joy. I didn't want to go back home. Mom and Dad would probably comfort me, but they would also be so disappointed. Instead, I was at the border post. The same air. I was contemplating the drums on the other side. It was just decided that I would never access it. Did I really want to go there? Honestly, what mattered to me the most was to be with the people I love, and who loved. I only had one true friend, and I just.
Bolt.
Oh. You can.
Hello, Bolt. At least I still have you.
Bolt.
My main processor unit is
I am. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything you can.
Bolt.
Oh. Well, I wish you good.
Wish. Thanks, Bolt. Maybe.
Bolt.
You are welcome.
At that same moment, I heard some noise coming. A group of people was crossing, exiting the dome. Approaching, I realized it was actually a single individual accompanied. A stocky, mustached, middle-aged. The escort stood close to him, as if concerned he was going to.
Cop. Citizen 400. You have been expelled under Regulation 45A. Non-payment for medical invoices totaling tramp.
Yeah. Tell me something new.
I was shocked. Was this how the drums? It reminded me of the strict management we had to deal with in the consciousness center. That made sense. My regret about never becoming a drummer lifted a little. Whatever. I couldn't just stay here and. Hey. Are you kicking this man out
Cop. Citizen.
And on this holy day.
Tramp.
Hello, my boy.
Cop. Our sensors indicate the individual requires in order to keep a flourishing state, society has to make the most accurate. Curing this man's disease implies refusing to cure other citizens with higher Now, please move.
But.
Tramp.
It's fine. I'll spend the little time I have left in the slums. Please, don't threaten no more.
Mister, you don't deserve. I don't care if I just met you. I can see it on your.
Cop. Protocol engaged. Tramp.
Oh no.
Cop. 3. Tramp.
Run.
Cop. 2. Tramp.
Please.
I was in danger, but my legs refused. Why?
Tramp.
Very well, even in my poor health, I won't let you harm this innocent boy.
The man was in fighting stance, positioning himself right between.
Tramp.
I swear to protect him until my last breath.
At the last minute, the sound of a laser made me jump behind. It was over. I was convinced the man. At that instant, I made a wish. It was hopeless, of course. But maybe, just maybe, and then I heard the fight. Though I couldn't exactly see what was happening, not only was he alive, one big military tribute exploded a bit further. It was a stupid thought in the moment, but I was thoroughly impressed. What kind of person is able to fight in any case, I was thankful, and ashamed I would. If this man died because of me, no matter his fatal disease, thankfully. One last explosion. I came out from under the bench to see what happened. You won. You really won.
Tramp.
Haha, looks like I may have lost strength, but I still have experience. My boy, what you did was pretty reckless.
I know, I just wanted.
Tramp.
And I admire that. You remind me of myself when I was your age. I joined the military.
And now that same society
Tramp.
We protected the citizens. Citizens like you.
You still can. You saved. Thank you so much.
Tramp.
No. It's me you made me push my limits to save you. And doing a good deed, that's a warm feeling that I still cherish.
That's right. Unfortunately, the world doesn't care. I failed my assignment at the consciousness center and so I can never join the drums now.
Tramp.
Oh no. Don't lose hope. You're the one that told me that.
I'm not even sure I want it anymore. After seeing
Saved. Slot 1. 70%. 1 hours. Close. Tramp.
Don't think like that. Nothing's ever so black or white in this world. Like everything else, don't reject it entirely just based on this one incident.
I guess you're right. But it's worse. My best friend, he lied to pass, when he really should have.
Tramp.
Did he mean to hurt you?
Well, not really. It wouldn't have changed anything for me, even if.
Tramp.
Did he try his best?
He always does. Honestly, I'm not even sure what I would have. I'm just angry at this whole stupid trip. Why shouldn't we be able to share our money to help? Why do we have to do this alone? That's stupid.
Tramp.
You're on the right track. Do you want to be his friend still?
Yes. More than.
Tramp.
Then you know what to do.
Tramp.
Maybe we owe it to ourselves to keep hoping for a.
Thank you, Mr.
Tramp.
Call me Rick.
All right, Rick.
Tramp.
Well, it's time for me to face my new destiny.
Wait. Aren't you going? There's no bot to prevent you now.
Tramp.
What for? There's nothing left for me under that dome. You, on the other hand, with such a bold and young spirit, could have a bright future there.
Go back. Go back. Slot 1. Yet saved. Slot close.
I'll try.
Tramp.
Take care, my
Thanks again. I hope we.
Tramp.
someday.
He has a point. Time to do what's right.
Graph. Graph.
I was on my bed. It took a while, but I couldn't control myself anymore. Are these really the values we're being taught? Individualism? Only we're supposed to feel good about receiving our own gift. I didn't. I was alone. Nobody cared. I felt terrible. The worst since that accident. That's it. I don't want to go to the drums. They've always meant bad luck for me. So what now? I was recalling today's events in my head, trying to think of the
Thanks again, Graph. With
Graph.
No. You were better off. Gosh, I even made someone, as usual, trying to do the right thing came back at me like a boomerang. Stop, Graph, focus. And then it dawned on me. The best parts were the ones we weren't forced to do. I loved the old traditions tale, and all those art, the snow globe, the pine tree and garland. They were all so pretty, so inviting, and looking at them, I enjoyed helping that rat. In retrospect, although he lied about his species, he really seemed, poor guy, I wish I could do something more for him. Wish.
Seller.
If you wish for something hard enough,
Graph.
That's right. I don't really know if there's such a god or whatever the Sandtail is. Please. I'm begging you. I want my friend back. This is the only gift I want. Write it down. This day is meaningless if I have no one to share it. If I can't be with the one person in the world I need the most. He's always been so kind to me. Just like the natal tale decorations, a glance at him, we always helped each other with homework. Together. I can't bear thinking he might fade away from my life someday, like a snowflake landing. Wait, what a weird thought. I don't even know what snow's like. Right when I was laughing at the absurdity of it.
Question mark. Knock, knock. Graph.
Must be Brock. Of course, he forgot. Just a second.
Question mark. Door opens. Graph.
Ot.
Ot.
Hi, Graph.
Graph.
I'm.
Ot.
Can we talk?
Graph.
Yes.
Ot.
You know, I get it. It wasn't much of a choice.
Graph.
That still doesn't absolve me. I'll tell everything to the director.
Ot.
No. You shouldn't. Because then.
Graph.
I don't want to go the drums in. Not like this, anyway. Not if I had to lie to.
Ot.
Are we?
Graph.
I hope so.
Ot.
Graph,
Graph.
Look. I'll send a.
Ot.
Alright. But promise, whatever happens, we'll stay friends.
Graph.
Forever.
Ot.
I'll send a message too. If there's one lesson to learn from all this.
Graph.
We have to share everything, and that.
Ot.
Wow, you read my mind.
Graph.
We should really have read those rules.
Ot.
Yeah. Although, that wouldn't have changed.
Graph.
Well, don't just stand there.
Question mark. We both wrote a message to the director, explaining our day and the reason we did. I knew I had screwed up my future, yet I felt relieved. This was the right thing to do. Graph.
And sent. It's done. We're both permanent.
Ot.
Hey, you're smiling.
Graph.
Yeah. It's silly, but I've been told that if you wish for something hard enough, well, my wish got granted.
Ot.
Did it? Where did you hide your.
Graph.
Ah, you're
Ot.
Ha ha. Incidentally, I learned the same thing too. What are the. Well, the day is far from over.
Graph.
You know, I've been everything that went wrong was due to one single.
Ot.
I know. Natal.
Graph.
This whole tradition is. Earlier today I helped an Untail believer set up. I took pictures.
Ot.
Wow. That is real pretty.
Graph.
How about decorating our.
Ot.
For real? How do you suggest? We can't afford to buy all that stuff.
Graph.
Well, I've got some. Come on, it'll be fun.
Ot.
Yeah.
Graph.
Me and Ot rushed to the landfill next. We collected junk, and we were going to do the best we could with that. With a bunch of bottle caps and wires, we made some improv. With old light bulbs and strings, we had balls to hang on our feet. No chance we'll ever find a pine tree though.
Ot.
We may not need to.
Graph.
Ot approached the carcass of an old tribe. What? How could this be?
Ot.
Watch.
Question mark. Ot took one of the spray paints he had given me for an art lesson earlier this. Graph.
He painted it green from head to toe. To my surprise, the result was pretty good. We proceeded to insert sticks through various holes so that we could hang our homemade garland. Thankfully, the internal components have been already removed, so it was light and.
Ot.
Oh, Got another. With these two ceiling globes of different I'll put some glue on the base here, and spray paint them white.
Graph.
Oh. Just like.
He's just missing a face. And a nose. And.
Graph.
We carried on like this for an hour. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. How ironic that it came right after one of the worst. We were laughing at each other for all our stupid ideas, and yet the results outshine. We brought all this home, when.
BROK.
Huh? Hey, kiddos, what are you doing with all this junk?
Graph.
BROK. That's not junk. It's Natal.
BROK.
Natal, what?
Just let us set up. Oh no. That I need to head home. The
BROK.
It's fixed.
Graph.
What? You mean, you actually?
BROK.
Got your message, Graph. As soon as I was done with was easy peasy with the right tools. Well, it's a temporary fix, but good enough for now.
Graph. I don't know what.
Graph.
I had felt so guilty, lost in my thoughts. Thanks, BROK.
BROK.
Don't mention it. Friend of Graph?
BROK.
Yeah, your parents said they'll need an hour or two to clean up, so you can.
Great.
Graph.
Come on, let's set everything up. With the help of BROK, we went even further. We made plenty more to decorate the hall and the front of our build. It was inviting and friendly, like the entrance to a
All done.
BROK.
Great job, kiddos. This is wonderful.
Go slot 1. No. Yeah. Saved.
Well, don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel a bit.
Graph.
Unfortunately, it's
Question mark. Knock. BROK.
Huh? Who's at the door?
Hey. Hello.
Mom? Is it already time to pick me up?
Well, we came by to thank you for saving our day.
BROK.
What a mouth-watering smell.
Nella, I prepared too many roasted bugs yesterday. With the plus some dessert. I hope you like apples pie. BROK.
Oh, man. I tried to make that pie before, but it was a disaster.
Nella, sure thing.
By the way, what's with all the weird ornaments?
Dad, we're celebrating.
You mean Natal Untail?
Nope. We're doing it the way.
Nella, oh, how cute. BROK.
Hey, guys, what do you say we all have? There's not much space, and not enough seats, but maybe we can squish.
Graph.
That's the spirit.
BROK.
Yeah. I learn fast.
Graph.
And this is how we all got to spend the We took turns and told stories. Chose to explain how the best part of his day was helping a robot and a dying.
I just realized he's homeless. I should have given him our address. We could have.
Don't feel so bad, son. If what you say is true.
Which one?
Hope.
Graph.
I'll make sure to send a wish his way.
We can do one together. Always worth a try.
Graph.
I chose to mimic and told all those around the table. At the mention of that name, everyone thought I was crazy for helping, but once I finished, they understood. On this special day, we both loved those unplanned. Even if we didn't earn money from them, we got a different,
BROK.
Hey, that's what I do every day.
Graph.
You're not wrong. We told jokes, we laughed, we ate sharing and giving. Spending time with, unknowingly, we all captured the true meaning of Natal. I started to notice had been recording videos of our private cell. Suddenly, he shut off his phone and made a more serious.
Graph. We owe the truth to our parents.
Graph.
You mean?
Yeah. Mom, Dad, we have some me and Graph, we won't be going to the
What?
BROK.
Graph, is that true?
Graph.
Yes. We explained how a lack of unis from our labor forced us to pay for the cheapest item together.
Go back. No. Yeah. Saved.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Son. Come here.
Graph.
Looked as if he was preparing to get the biggest scold.
Those benevolent acts were a mistake. Spending your time on them was. We've invested so much into your future. You failed me, you failed your family.
But Dad.
Nella, honey, I'm not sure.
Shh. Come closer, son. And that's what I would say if I was one of those heartless robots who only care about but I'm not. I'm human, and we make mistakes, and sometimes it's for the best. I understand the reasons why you did it, and I won't put the blame on you. Hey, I would have done the same. Come on, give a hug to your old dad.
Erm.
Graph.
They embraced each other, Though with the expression on Ott's face I could tell he was.
As long as you act with your heart, with reason, we'll always support. I'm not saying I'm happy about it, but.
Brock.
We shouldn't accept it. The kids did. I'll solve this with your director tomorrow.
Director.
That won't be necessary.
Graph.
We all lifted our heads to look at at the entrance were the director and Clay.
Brock.
What's going on? And.
Director.
I have the keys to the whole city.
Clay. We've been here for a while, and none of you even noticed. Brock.
Well, I'm not pleased about this intrusion of our
What's going on?
Director.
I'm here thanks to my son.
Graph.
Clay? What did.
Clay. The right thing, I hope. Director.
Let's just say, I have a better understanding of the situation from earlier today.
Go back. Close.
In addition, I noticed your efforts to celebrate this evening, even despite not being the intended way. You've shown creativity, therefore, I shall grant you an exception. You can continue your studies and hope to integrate into the drums.
For real?
Clay. If Mom says so, that sucks. I'll be stuck with you a while longer. Graph.
Thank you. I want this chant.
Director.
It won't be easy though.
Hey, robot madam, can you really bend the rules that.
Director.
No rule was bent. I can't punish students for not reading the rules when I didn't read them carefully enough.
You mean, you didn't write them?
Director.
Maybe we've been wrong.
About.
Director.
Everything. Only time will tell. Now, we're not going to be a bother much longer.
No. You can stay with us a bit longer, both of you.
Clay. You guys are way too corny. I'm gonna be sick. Graph.
No worries. I'll.
Brock.
Graph exclamation mark dot dot dot.
Clay. Scrawny? I'll show you Graph.
Oh, come on. You've.
Clay. HMMPH. Director.
Clay. You are factually.
Clay. Not you too, Mom. Graph.
We enjoyed ourselves for a bit, and when it was all said and done.
This was great.
Graph.
You know what we made this perfect? Snow.
Brock.
Sigh. Sorry to disappoint. It's not like anyone could generate snow at will.
Graph.
I know.
Director. Brock.
Well, I guess Shay could. Hey, wait, maybe we can after all. The gun.
Graph.
What gun?
Brock.
You said you left a mattress around here.
Graph.
Yeah, in front of our building. Brock retrieved a big weapon that looked like a toy. Then, we all followed him as he picked the mattress up, only to watch him tear a hole in it. Whoa. Hey, you're
Brock.
Yeah, but for a good call.
Graph.
He took the synthetic fibers, put them inside the gun, and shot it in the air.
Brock.
That actually worked. It's just like snow.
Graph.
The particles fell onto us, gently, as though time itself.
Wow.
Brock.
Well, it's not exactly the same.
Graph.
Quiet. Let's just enjoy. Ott took his phone and started filming.
Clay. Mom. Should we? Director.
Not yet. The slums deserve to experience it too.
Graph.
I was very pleased. Everything had turned out yet. There's still one part of Natal Tale missing.
Brock.
Explain?
Graph.
The presents.
Clay. Hey, I already bought myself. Graph.
No.
Giving presents to others.
Clay. What? Graph. Brock.
Well, as it so happens, I do have.
Graph.
Really?
Brock.
Yeah. Merry Natal Tale.
Graph.
A computer. Amazing. But, I didn't even say anything.
Brock.
Hey, can't live with someone without figuring out.
Graph.
Thank you so much.
Maybe it can play game. Would you let me try it, Graph?
Graph.
Of course.
I see. Son, I'll get you one too.
Really?
Not today, but. If you keep working hard, it's a promise. Consider this.
Graph.
Awesome. Ott, we'll be able to.
I can't wait. But, Dad, if you have to use that money for something more important, that's okay.
Go back.
Nothing's more important than you, son.
Thanks. But this is getting
Saved. Clay, you're still offering that vomit bag, Graph? I feel Graph.
Actually, I have something here, Clay.
Clay, what? Your piggy bank? Why the heck would I want this barely less ugly than a piggy bank? You bought this for yourselves.
Just take it. I'm sure you're the biggest spender of us.
Director.
I cannot deny that.
Clay, mom exclamation mark dot dot dot. Director.
I am merely stating a fact.
Clay, well. Thanks, I guess. Graph.
Holy, did I really hear?
I heard it too.
Clay, it's called being polite, you dumb. Mom? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh. Director. Clay, alright, enough. After all, my natural scent is amazing. Graph.
Your perfume?
Clay, take it, even if I doubt the most powerful
That's so cool. Thanks a lot, Clay.
Clay, I'm out of here. Director.
Very well. This is our thank you.
Graph.
He loves that piggy bank.
Sure does. Look how
Graph.
After they left, we continued the improvise. Among other things, I gave out a poster of the master tweaks. I didn't really have anything to give to Brock, but he said he only wanted to see me. I'll still find something for him in the next few days. We were going to call it an evening and Ott was leaving with his parents. The night had arrived, but it hadn't arrived alone. Curious inhabitants from our building noticed the bright decorations and were attracted like flies to a flame.
Yes, saved.
So we spent a while to explain what it all meant. Soon, people from the next block came to visit, and then more. Eventually, they took videos of our decorations and posted them. The word was spreading, going viral. Me and Ott spent the last hours of the day making our own We gave silly tips for making the decorations, which folks eventually could. In another video, we used footage of our dinner to explain the meaning, why sharing was important to us. How gifts to others were much more. The next day, our video had garnered 1,000. Slumber kids reproduced our decorations and soon the sector was That day, most who followed Natal Untail's rules and bought goods for themselves ended up giving them promising that the next year, they would get them something more personal. 2 days after, it was the whole slums. Our video was basically, the entire slums population that was connected to the Triweb experienced it. We got asked how we made snow happen. Brock decided to spend some time using Shay's gun for children to have fun. One kid or two accidentally swallowed some of the fire. Thankfully, they're okay, but that made Brock be. I asked Brock to pick up more mattresses. We left them at the entrance of the sewers. Hopefully, that rat could finally have something soft to Later on, a special announcement was made from the gov. From now on, Natal Tale would officially, under conditions, decorations could only be made from recycling old materials. We'll see how well these rules would be followed, but in the meantime, Ott and I were pleased to be. They also promoted Santail and sold disguises. I was starting to get concerned that the commercial aspect would take over. In addition, a spectacle was organized for everyone to see.
Go back, slot. No, yes, saved. Slot. No, yes, saved. Slot.
Our mesmerized gazes were directed to the dome, which was generating fakes.
Saved.
I suspect this is what inspired snow globes in the first place.
Graph exclamation.
Graph.
Is
Brock.
Yeah, it's real. It's snowing. Merry Natal Tale, everyone.
Go back, slot. No, yet saved, slot. Merry Christmas hash and Merry Natal Tale. Credits. 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 Kins.
Hey, How come Reed gets to sleep on a mattress?
Squealer's chief.
What?
Kins.
Says he found one under.
Squealer's chief.
So? You think it?
Kins.
Well,
Squealer's chief.
Reed.
Squealer. Yeah, chief. Squealer's chief.
Gimme.
Squealer. What? Hey, that's no fair. Boss, you already got a bed. With sheets and a mattress and everything. Squealer's chief.
Me is me. You can't be the only guy privileged. That.
Squealer. But it was left for me. Squealer's chief.
Ha ha ha.
Squealer. Okay. So if all the guys get a mattress, Dad at Kins.
ha. As if.
Dart.
Hey, Chief, there's now a whole load of mattresses there.
Squealer's chief.
What the?
Squealer. This must be a natal miracle. Credits. 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 Wes.
Why the long face? Off.
RJ.
The others all took vac. The only one left is me. I always work because I'm useful, but it's lonely.
Wes.
Well, let me introduce you to your new cop.
Cop. Hello. RJ.
A tribit?
Wes.
It will assist you well on duty. Way more efficient.
RJ.
Ha, if you say.
Wes.
Glad to help. I'll get back to
RJ.
You never leave this place.
Wes.
This is the lot of us all in the police.
Cop. Pleased to meet you. I have work to do. Catch you later, big furry human. RJ. Question mark. Phone call. RJ.
Oh, Sin.
Sin. Hi, my man. Wait, are you still at the police department? This late on RJ.
Yeah.
Sin. We'd love to have you at our home for a special evening. RJ.
We?
Sin. Me and the two loves of my life. Nella. Girl voice. Hi, Mr. Big Bear. RJ.
Oh.
Nella. Girl voice. I want to cuddle him like my teddy bear. Sin. Oh, honey. He'll be our guest. See, you really have to come now or you'll make a little girl reality. RJ.
But, I said to the chief.
Sin. Come on, man. We'll have dinner, a lot of drinks, and we've got a gift for you. RJ.
Deal. Thanks, man. You're my best.
Sin. Same. Credits. 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 Guard. Hey, guys, come here. Got something to tell you. Question mark. Presses button. Cop. Emergency. Contamination. All personnel must exit immediately. Mink.
What? What's.
Dr. Hush.
You again, Mink?
Guard. Hey. Calm. Dr. Hush.
Surely, you
Guard. Just needed your attention. Dr. Hush.
toying with the government instruments. I see.
Guard. I wouldn't have to if you two would listen to me. Dr. Hush.
So, what do you.
Guard. Ever heard of this new trendy thing? Dr. Hush.
Natal tale?
Guard. Well, I brought all kinds of decorations I made. Mink.
Is that why you're interrupting our. Do you realize how much precious time I'll be losing by
Guard. Yeah. Ask the government. Just look. Mink.
There.
Dr. Hush.
Rubbish?
Guard. Aw, I did my best. Mink.
I can improve these. With some neon thermoplastic.
Guard. What? Dr. Hush.
Tidy, please install those garlands.
Tidy. Yup. Starting the hanging process. Dr. Hush.
Good tidy.
Guard. And that's not all. Got gifts for you, guys. Mink.
You mean, you are going to give me a present?
Guard. Yeah. That's the spirit of this. Here. Mink.
That's.
Guard. Well, if you're lost for words, that means this one's for you, Dr. Hush. Dr. Hush.
Thank you so much. These are nice socks.
Guard. I noticed you always wore the same ones. Dr. Hush.
Well, thanks for it. I'm sorry. I don't have a gift for you.
Mink.
I have.
Guard. You have what? Mink.
A gift.
Guard. Mink. You made me for real? Mink.
Yes. I was waiting for the right moment.
Guard. Oh my, you wrapped it perfect. How? Mink.
Well, I set up a new procedural model for my nap. This took a few days and used 60% of the energy allocated.
Dr. Hush.
You did what?
Mink.
I needed a test subject to give this to, and
Guard. Mink.
Oh. Your law, the experiment is a success.
Dr. Hush.
That's Dr. Hush to you. And look what you've done to our poor guard. He's crying.
Mink.
Huh.
Guard. I've never gotten an actual present. Thank you. Oh. Mink.
Whoa. Please don't kill me.
Dr. Hush.
Mink.
Mink.
Oh. I mean, oh, that's nice, actually.
Dr. Hush.
Now, how about you two actually?
Mink.
No.
Guard. No. Dr. Hush.
Then what was the point?
Mink.
You're just clueless as all.
Dr. Hush.
I give up.
Question mark. Be sure to check out the main game this is based on, BROK the InvestiGator. Share the word about this little Christmas tale with your friends. Posting a review/rating, and if you enjoyed this, feel free to donate a little something. It will be used to make new BROK projects, and you'll get 15 digital postcards to send to your family and friends. Store page. Support the dev. Continue. Store page. Continue. Get ready for even more BROK content coming soon in the Brawl Bar DLC. By the way, this game was entirely made with the BROK engine. Did you know you can make your own BROK adventures with it? It's simple and you don't need any programming knowledge to start with it. Check it out. Make your own adventure. Wishlist.